Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is technical analysis of the stock market today. Today is Wednesday, September 10th, 2014. We're going to take a look at the markets like we usually do. We got 2 days markets, and take a look at the BRICS countries real quick, and then we're going to look at four Chinese stocks. Okay, the Dow Industrials up 54.83 points today. It tried to continue its sell-off from yesterday and went down a little bit, broke the low of yesterday, and then as you can see here, came right back and bounced right back up and closed above the 10. So, you know, a nice little rebound out of the market. It's refusing to go down right now. A little bit of a fishhook type look still on this, on the Dow, on the RSI, and DI minus is above DI plus. Demand index is still positive, but it's got that little fishhook look too. So what does that make me think? Here's the scenario in the back of my mind. I'm thinking that we had a little bit of a bounce rally here today and we get another sell-off tomorrow. Now, if we get this sell-off tomorrow, I've been thinking about this. I mentioned this last month, I believe, the Thursday, Friday low going into expiration week. Okay, so a week from this Friday is the 15th. I'm looking at the wrong month. The week from this Friday is the 19th, and that's expiration Friday. It's actually quad witching Friday. There's a whole bunch of things, futures and options expiring, everything on Friday. So there's this theory Pitbull has, Marty Schwartz, where he talks about Thursday, Friday low of the week prior going into option expiration week. That's this Thursday and Friday. So we need to be on alert looking for a low close, low day, could be Thursday or Friday, that we then rally off of going into options expiration Friday. So it seems that pattern seems to have held pretty well over the last year and a half or so, and it may even be longer than that. I don't know. I haven't checked. So that's what I'm kind of watching for right now. That's the scenario in the back of my mind. S&P 500, similar type thing. And, you know, similar type look. It was up, what, 7 points today? And the NASDAQ is the other one we're going to take a look at on the major indices. And this is a little more of the sideways consolidation. Didn't really go down below yesterday's low much. It came back up in here. I'm still holding this target out here, 46.65. You know, DI plus is above DI minus here, so a little more positive. That's the RSI. Okay, so that, I mean, the three of them, it doesn't look like, and again, the other thing that we got to think about is we don't have extreme readings on the CBOE, you know, put to call ratio, and we're about to look at short-term trading index. We do not have an extreme reading here in terms of extreme bullishness, which would mean, you know, potential top yet. The VIX, although we got a bounce yesterday in the VIX, there it is, you know, it just reversed right on back down today. Closed 12.88, down 0.62. Now we are getting the 10 crossing the 21, so it's going to be interesting to watch this little scenario in here. But again, you know, nothing major that I can see. I mean, we still have demand, DI plus greater than DI minus up here, but I don't see anything else that the VIX is telling me. High low came back down almost right to the neutral point to 0. We only had 4 more new highs than new lows today, and what did I say? The Dow was up 54, so not very strong in terms of a move when you have 4 new highs, 4 stocks more that had new highs than new lows. So it's kind of a net number is what we're looking at. Okay, that's it on the indices, I think, and so that's it for tonight. And we had the down day, had bounced back up today, and I'm skeptical about a move out of here right now, looking for another move down. We'll see if we get it. All right, let's take a look at the BRICS countries real quick. Let's start off with Brazil. And so Brazil over the last week has sold off pretty sharply in here. I mean, it's still in this trend of higher highs, higher lows, still in an uptrend. But it has broken down below this previous high here, okay, which you would have thought might become support come in. So that kind of tells me that maybe we're into some kind of corrective action that might be starting here on Brazil. Let's look at Russia, the MICEX index. Russia has bounced back. Russia's getting some bearish divergence in here. The last move was not confirmed by indicators. And it's starting to almost look a little bit like some kind of large head and shoulders consolidation type of activity in here. It's it's too early to tell until we get a move back down and come down below this point right here. But I drew this trend line in here because I saw those 2 points and I thought, well, you never know. I mean, that is a little bit of a picture that it can be painting here. India is the next one. India index, the Nifty 50, but very tiny bars in here, and it could be just because the numbers are big, I don't know, but it's continuing to trend, continuing to push. I think we're in this fifth minor wave move up in here, minute wave move. So we're in the extended area, but it's continuing to push higher. China, we've talked about, and of course, on my blog post tonight, I talk about China and I talk about gold in the blog post. And if I can find China, Shanghai Composite, there it is. This is, done a little moonshot here lately in the last week and a half, and looking very strong. I like this big move that it's come out of breaking this trend line. We talked about that. I do think that we may have 5 waves that we're working in here. It could top out and pull back a little bit. It wouldn't be unusual at all given the move that it's had. But it's going to run into potential resistance at these tops up in here, I think. But there's the channel that we talked about in the weekly chart. In terms of where it needs to break out. Now, on the weekly chart, I don't think it was enough. I'm looking here, it's the 4th. Okay, the 5th was last Friday. So we've only had 2 days. There must have been a day that they're off, unless I'm missing data. Maybe they, for some reason, didn't trade on Monday in China. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why I'm missing the 8th. I'll have to check into that. But so my daily charts just got a little bit. So this on the weekly chart is just, it would have been right here as the high on the weekly chart. So that's good. It hasn't broken out of that long-term channel that I talked about on the weekly chart. See about the indicators are, the indicators are giving us some bearish divergence in here, which is another reason why I'm thinking that, this third wave, intermediate wave may be coming to an end in here on this push. So, that's a pretty dramatic push to have divergence coming off of. Okay, and then the last one is, of course, South Africa is a part of the BRICS countries now that they've made it. And FTSE, and again, this is just doing nothing but a sideways consolidation move. You can see here that if you take just the top here back in the beginning of July and then the bottom, it's just in this sideways range, doing nothing. Okay, that's the BRICS countries. Now we're going to take a look at Jinko Solar, JKS, Candy Technologies, BIDU, and SINA. We're going to take a look at those tonight. And Jinko Solar, I hadn't looked at this in a while, and one of my subscribers had asked me about it, and so I thought, we'd go ahead and take a look at this, see how, of course, I think I just grabbed the wrong Wrong box. Hopefully I didn't mess up the video. Okay. All right. So this is the look on Jinko Solar. I think we've got a third primary wave up, a fourth wave that had been consolidating and chopping sideways, and I think it ended here mainly because of the overlapping that we got in here. This was not impulsive. This, this area right in here looks like a little three wave, a little correction, another little move in here. It's all looks very corrective choppiness. And in the fact that we broke out of this trend line and that we have what looks like five waves in here to me, I think this is the first like little intermediate wave up of wave 5. So we just have to remember that we are in a wave 5. So here's what we're looking at. Okay, this is why I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. I like the way the fourth wave is alternating from the second wave. That's typically how it's done. If this is a sharp correction on a pullback, sharp, severe, quick correction, which is what you normally expect on a 2, then you're getting a flatter, more complex correction on 4, which is what you would expect that these would alternate between 2 and 4. So now I think we're in a fifth wave up. The real question is, how far? And I don't know if I can do this on here. I'm going to try it. Let me get my crosshairs because that helps give me a guideline. Okay, number 1, if I go to the top of 1, go to the bottom of 2, wave 3 went 423% of wave 1. So it is definitely an extreme extended wave 3. Given that wave 3 extended, a couple of things can happen. I can look for the estimated Fibonacci move of wave 5. Wave 5 could be equal to wave 1. And so what is, because of the, let's see, wave 1 had a low of 2 and a high of 10, let's ballpark it, so 8. That's not going to work in here, I don't think. A low 24 would make 32 something. We're already past that. So I think the best thing to do is to measure from 0 to 3, go back down to the bottom of 4, and I'm estimating that either at 38.2%, which is not very far above where we're at, 36 or so, or 61.8% would be the top of wave 5. If I had to guess, I'm thinking that it's going to be up here around 44, 45. And of course, it could always push higher. But if I had to guess, that would be first topping point. If this is an intermediate wave 1, we're going to get a pullback, okay? And then it's going to go again. So let me blow it up again, make it a little clearer. So this is, again, I think an intermediate wave 1, which means you're going to get an intermediate wave 2 back, then a 3, then a sideways 4. So we'll just have to watch to see how this plays out. Today it was pretty strong and closed on its high, up 1.69. And how did the volume look? Indicators are getting a little choppy in here. Volume was nice. It's right up around the 50-day moving average of volume, which is good. Had some really strong days in here. So that's my view on JKS. Let's take a look at BIDU. And by the way, I substitute JKS in here for SoFund because SoFund's price is getting down around $11 a share, and I am not going to trade options on a stock. I'm trying to avoid trading options in any stocks below $15 a share, so that's my thinking right now. And I'll continue to monitor, but I'm not going to sit here and spend time, a great deal of time on it. BIDU, on the other hand, is up here. Now, again, I don't trade options on BIDU either because this is the average true range on BIDU is 5.33 points a day. Might be a great stock to trade intraday, on day trading, but the options have a tendency to get a little expensive, especially when you got to set your stop, say 2 ATRs away, and that means 10.5, almost 11 points to decide you're wrong. And anyway, that's why I'm not trading options on this right now. And the count on this is I think BIDU is in a fifth primary wave up. The real question is 5 stopping here? And let me pull back. This is why I think, again, it's a similar type thing in terms of the wave structure that we just had on Jinko Solar. 1, sharp 2, strong 3, shallow complex 4. Okay, now we're in 5. And so now the real question is, if we're in 5, where's 5 going to end? And I think we've had 1, 2, strong 3, a flat 4, and now we're in 5. And so I thought at first it might be ending here, but now we're getting this kind of action. And honestly, I'll tell you, I'm not sure what to make of this kind of action. So a lot of times I think the alternate scenario in here is that this is 3. That instead of being 3 here, that 3 ends here. Okay, and that it's stronger and it's more of a little lengthier move. That would mean this is some kind of 4. Okay, but honestly, again, a lot of times when this gets into corrective type modes, it's very, very hard to decipher the wave count in here. So we'll just have to see if it becomes any clearer or not if it continues to push. That's the view on BIDU. So right now, I'm looking for a top on BIDU. And the next one is SINA. I think that's the last one we've got for the day. Here we go. Now SINA, I thought had done a big pullback, a wave 2. It did not take out the low here that I'm counting as the bottom for intermediate wave 1. Pretty sharp correction on 2. Pretty complex, kind of messy. You had this, and I think we had an X, and then we talked about this, a Y. Now the real question is this the bottom, or are we continuing to get more corrective action? I thought this might be the first minor wave 1 up, but it's continuing to chop in here. This point went below this point, so this could not have been 2 here, so I'm labeling this 2. If we go down below this point, then all bets are off. Then we're still in some kind of corrective action, and there's a more bearish scenario going on than the bullish one I'm trying to paint on SINA. Now it does look like it's trying to turn here. It's closing above the 10, but it's done that before too. It did it right in here. Let me blow this up. Okay, see how it tried to close and tried to rally, but it was still much a part of this sideways correction, and it broke this trend line in here, support line. So right now it looks like it's trying to do it again, and so we'll see. We get the DI, the demand DI plus crossing above DI minus, and the RSI. The RSI is rising. It hasn't gotten above 50 yet though. So it's struggling. I don't see anything strong. I'd like to see some kind of little pivot, some kind of trend line break in here with this. Ideally, it'd be nice to see a trend line set up with RSI. I'm not seeing it. Gray, I mean, you might be able to make the case a little bit in here, but it's not as nice pictorially as I'd like to see it. Anyway, so we'll see. I mean, that may work out for us, but right now, no particular position, or the best assessment I could say on SINA is that it looks like it's trying to turn to the high side. All right, that's it for tonight. And remember, we're kind of looking for that market low. We'll see if that pattern continues to hold. We're looking for a potential market low here Thursday, Friday, going into options expiration week. All right, this has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. We will see you on the next video.